What's up? So it is the beginning of July. Actually, it's Friday, so I would be recording a status video tomorrow. But I just had some insight I wanted to share with you. So I just finished recording my 2 long-form videos today. I do this every week to kind of stay ahead of my schedule. But mainly what I wanted to make this video about is the fact that starting this week, I started a new team of clients, one-on-one clients that I work with to guarantee them starting their businesses at least $1,000 in 90 days. Things are going well. It is incredibly exciting, and these people that I'm working with are just so determined. It's absolutely a pleasure to work with them. I enjoy it every day, all of the work, all of the meetings. But what I wanted to share in this video is something that I think might be worth watching for you who wants to start a business or is currently starting a business or running a business. And so for me, right now I'm doing free work, but even if I was getting paid for my work and it was just still me preparing for the future by starting to write out SOPs, so standard operating procedures, is what I imagine to be a huge help. Now, you might hear this and think, obviously, yeah, and so do I. But right now, when I'm still in the stage of just being me, it might not seem like the obvious thing to do to write out these standard operating procedures because it's still just me in the business. So why would I have that when no one else has to do the things I'm doing, right? But the more I can be clear on setting the right expectations between me and my clients for when I do onboarding, for when we start working together, for the first few days of working together, for the first week of working together. In me wanting to deliver that world-class experience, I want to set and meet expectations as best as I can, as quickly as I can. And the easiest way for me later to transfer the ability to deliver that world-class experience is going to be having standardized operating procedures. Throughout yesterday, I've been writing down the first 10 steps or so that I go through with each new client, all the way from sending them the first onboarding email to the messages I'll be sending in the group chat to whatever I send them after the calls. All of these small specific steps, telling them what to do, what to expect at what point, when they will be getting more information, what they can expect from me, following up after meetings, setting action points, making sure that they know what to deliver to me, but also what to expect from me so that we're working together as efficiently as possible to avoid misunderstandings. And one of the reasons why I thought of making this video, just aside from documenting this, is that yesterday, for instance, we had our first group call. And one of the guys, I hadn't clarified that the times for the meeting had been sent in Danish time. So he read them in Danish time, but when it was UK time, he still thought it was going to be later when in fact the meeting was already live. So he didn't get to show up. And the same thing, even though I had that experience with him, I didn't verify that he then understood the same thing for the one-on-one call we had afterwards, meaning that we had the same exact experience for the one-on-one call. Now, luckily, we managed to get the call sorted anyway, but I had an assumption that the times I'd sent him and the times he had in his calendar had been checked by him. Whether that's reasonable or not doesn't matter, because if I don't verify and check for myself and do everything on my side, extreme ownership, being accountable for everything myself, and check with him whether he has understood the exact times, both at least in his own local time, then these misunderstandings can happen and they don't provide a great experience. For his end, he doesn't show up, and on my end, I'm left there waiting, which is not great. And so to kind of give you a quick example, some of the things that I've written down, for instance, have been a 1 week out onboarding and invitation email. It's been before day 1 introduction, text in group, plus the next steps. Before day 1, ask for preferences for the one-on-one calls and the group meeting calls. Follow up with the chosen times for the group meetings. Follow up when everyone has been sent invitations. Have they received them? The more accountable I hold myself and follow up with everyone and make sure that the expectations I have set are being met or at least understood by them, the fewer misunderstandings we'll have. and the greater are the chances that both I'll be able to deliver a great experience, but also that they will perceive it to have been a great experience. And by combining this, chances are they will get their results faster, or we just simply increase the chances that they do get the results. So in either case, it's a win-win. And it's just something that I realized that I might as well start preparing for this stuff for when I start hiring people to then hold these teams of clients, so that I actually have materials where the lessons of mismatched expectations are clearly stated, so I know what were the essential moments to capture and to make sure I don't miss out on. Welcome to another status video. I know that I recorded a video yesterday. That doesn't mean that you don't get one today. So yesterday was really positive. Right now we're about 1 week into the startup coaching program with the current set of clients. Started out as 7 people, 1 more has been added, now we're 8, and things are going really well. The clients are working hard. They're making a lot of progress for themselves, and it's an absolute pleasure for me to see. I'm trying to make a conscious and active effort to sweat the small stuff and be as proactive and involved as possible to really deliver a world-class experience. And I do think that I'm doing a great job of that. But my main point with mentioning this is that I'm noticing how capable I am, how much more I can put in, and also at times how that extra effort feels. But mainly it shows me how much I'm actually able to do, how much I can follow up, how many details I can remember, how good questions I can ask, everything that I can do to make my clients more likely to succeed and succeed faster. So I think that's quite a fun thought, and it's a very valuable lesson for me already at this point, I would say. What I actually wanted to make this video about, besides the things I told you about yesterday and besides the fact that the program is moving forward, we're seeing good results so far, good progress. One, I want to mention that I've previously had thoughts of being able to maintain 20 clients on my own. With this level of detail, I'm not sure that's going to be possible. I think 15 would be a stretch. 12 would probably be the sweet spot at max capacity. I'll have to figure that out in the future. But more so, I wanted to mention that one of my clients was talking about and asking some questions about Stripe and payments and getting used to asking for payment on a call. And it just showed me that this was something that I hadn't spent a lot of time doing because it's not something I've done yet. And so I took it upon myself to make sure that I was capable of having that conversation with him, of both preparing myself for the future, getting comfortable with something like Stripe, but also to have the insight possible to actually have the conversation and hopefully to answer the questions that he might have had. And so I set up everything on Stripe, and for one, I mean, I know Stripe's been here for a long time, but it's just an incredible product, I have to say. It's a pleasure to use, it's really simple, and it feels kind of sexy, I have to say. Maybe it's just because I'm looking forward to using it, but I really do like it. Now, what I'm trying to get at is typing in the details for my business, which is obviously in some way guaranteeing certain business outcomes. Apparently, this triggered, some kind of AI review. Momentarily, at least, have closed my account, even though I've not used it yet, because they're afraid that people use it to promise unrealistic outcomes or promise certain results with minimal effort. And it's similar to something that's happening on Instagram, where I'm waiting on an appeal for my account. It's just not an obstacle I had imagined I would run into trying to create this new industry. And so, I mean, I've of course written an appeal and said that there is nothing minimalistic about the effort required to make this program successful. Tried to explain that. Also, there are no unrealistic outcomes promised. In fact, the whole existence of this business is based upon my dissatisfaction with the current industry, and so I understand why they have that policy, and I've tried to convey that. But why am I mentioning this? Well, I'm mentioning this, one, to give you insight into just the basic unexpected things that can happen in your business, the curveballs you will be thrown. With my Instagram account being suspended or with this Stripe thing shutting down, you know, I could take that and feel bad. I could feel miserable. I could feel personally hit. I could feel like they're trying to not make me succeed. But why would I ever want to do that? I have no benefit in doing that. And so one of the big things for me is, as I've talked about in other videos, choosing how I react to circumstances. I mentioned this in a video I did yesterday, but whatever events happen are just events. If you ascribe them a negative value or a negative perception, then they are negative in your mind. But if you ascribe them a positive, opportunistic value, then you probably deem them positive. But it is your choice. And the sooner, when that event happens in the moment, that you can stop yourself from making an automatic judgment and switch to a deliberate judgment, something that you either don't care about and so the event itself doesn't matter, or that you give it a positive, opportunistic view, look at the silver lining. The quicker you can do that in the moment, one, you will probably feel like you have a much happier life, but also you will probably make progress a lot faster because you don't dwell on stuff that you don't necessarily have any control over, and you instead look at the things that you can contribute from or benefit from happening, and just look at how you can move forward. And so we do whatever we can in whatever situation we find ourselves in, and if that is not enough, we learn and we do better next time. I think that's overall the lesson. Also, another fun thing that might be worth mentioning is I've completely tossed the whole clothing and merch thing to the side, though I still have the promise in the school community that the first 10 community members who get to $100 will get a limited edition sweatshirt. And I've ordered a new sample for myself because I will be sending them to my personal clients as well, which they don't know right now, but they will find out. So I'm really happy for that. I'm waiting for the sample. Now, in a completely different turn of events, watching Iman buy essentially consulting.com and talking about what consulting.com has been before and what he intends to do with it, seeing all the stuff Hormozy and acquisition.com do with school, and I mean, essentially also just what school.com do themselves, but seeing how the education space is developing and still having the balls for me to be like, these are the guys that I either want to cooperate or compete against in the future. It's both scary as but also exciting at the same time. And I mean, hopefully it'll be some kind of collaboration. And if it's not, if it's competition, then I hope it'll at least be fun competition. For me to imagine that I'll be able to compete against some of those guys is both incredibly encouraging and motivating, but also intimidating. And it's not so much the fact that I'm worried about trying to compete. It's more just the fact that it is new in every way possible. Like the fact that I have no way near the experience at the moment to even have any sense of what they're doing and what the game is like at that level that they're playing. And who knows, maybe I won't be reaching that level for some reason. Maybe I choose that's not what I want. Maybe I don't even go in that direction. I have no idea. Maybe they join me. I just know my mission is to make entrepreneurship available to everyone. And I think if I stay on that course and that path and continue to fulfill and develop my own vision and mission, then I don't really lose, because it is my judgment of my success in alignment with that vision. And I think if I can just focus on that, and if I can execute on that, then there is no way to lose. Besides the fact that if I don't get very far, obviously. Like along those lines, being able to say, I don't know about stuff you don't know, and about stuff I don't really know anything about, or am not certain about, or don't hold strong beliefs for, and being willing to say I was wrong and change my beliefs. I think, you know, staying humble in that regard and open and curious and willing to learn is, one, gonna make life a lot more fun, but also necessary to get to those places I want to go.